Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Simpsons Hit and Run, the Gru Mod, Part 13. We're gonna go see Springfield's greatest expert on aliens, the comic book guy. He spends more than 99% of his time just reading comic books and watching movies. So, of course, he's gonna be the greatest expert in all of Springfield on this subject matter, the subject of alien invasions and whatnot. He probably wishes he could send the greatest superheroes to come out and defeat them and destroy them. But, of course, most of those superheroes don't really exist in the universe of Springfield. We do have Radioactive Man, but I'm pretty sure he's a fictional superhero. There is Duff Man, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any real superpowers or anything like that either. So Gru is all Springfield has at the moment. Gru and his army of minions. Yeah, the greatest evil mastermind Gru is now left having to save Springfield from this alien invasion. And now there are these mysterious, strange black cars that are seen everywhere. We're back in level 1 when it was mysterious black vans being seen everywhere. Now it's black cars. Yeah, they ditched vans for cars now. And we're gonna have to go follow this black van. This black car used to be a black van. If you look really closely, I can see it looks like Bart Simpson's car from level 6. Well, in the vanilla game, that's what it would look like. His car from level 6, but it has a roof on it. And it's been painted black. Obviously, the black car, the intimidating black car. Yeah, it probably sucks being out in summer where it absorbs all the heat. I don't know, maybe it's supposed to absorb heat or something like that. I don't know if these aliens' weaknesses are, but we're probably going to find out soon enough how we're going to stop them. And so all this happened really because of Buzz Cola, and because the aliens just wanted some entertainment out of Springfield. He's driving around. I already know where he's going to be going, so I'm going to be driving ahead of him a little bit. That's like I think it's a speed running tactic of some kind where you drive ahead of the car. We know where the car is exactly going to go. Precisely where it's going to go. So you can actually drive a little bit ahead of it. Not too far ahead, because then you fail the mission then. But if you stay within a close proximity of it and then somehow drive a little ahead of it, so the mission will be completed before the mission will be completed, before the car actually gets there, or just as it gets there, so it gets done in the fastest amount of time possible. Of course, most speedrunners don't really do that. Most speedrunners just pause the game and exit the mission. They do that 7 times, and it gives you the option to skip the mission. Of course, that doesn't work in the last few missions of this game, because you can't skip those. Unless this speedrun's supposed to be like a 100% speedrun, or a complete all missions in the game speedrun. Some speedruns are centered around that. That's more if you're doing an 90% speedrun or a low percent speedrun of some kind. There we go, mission complete. So we got that in pretty quickly. So Professor Frink is hiding out in the parking lot again, the parking lot of the power plant. Makes sense he's hanging out at the power plant. The power plant seems like the most logical place for him to be at.
You're here, my morbidly obese ally. Based on my
he's gonna say a bunch of nerdy stuff. He's such a big nerd. He's gonna say all of his nerdy stuff and all of his and all that nerdy jargon that he probably speaks of in his science stuff, and about how he says he has a plan to save Springfield somehow using nuclear waste. Apparently nuclear waste is the aliens' weakness. Oh wow, nuclear waste is the aliens' weakness. Who would have saw that coming? Seems like the most obvious thing, since it's probably the most abundant thing that exists in Springfield. Nuclear waste. What would Springfield be without nuclear waste? Yes, he even said his name's Professor John Frink. So it just confirmed right there that indeed his name is Professor Frink, and he's not any other name people think he may have actually had at some point in time or another. So pretty much, it's hard to see, but in the vanilla game it'd be obvious you're carrying a little crate, a little container of toxic nuclear waste in the back of your car. You can't really see it because it hides in the graphics, the 3D model of Gru's car just hides in there, so you can't really see it all. And of course, if I didn't have the H key, the debug mode where you press and hold the H key to phase through walls and phase through everything, I'd be crashing into stuff constantly, and I'd constantly be losing that nuclear waste. It falls off of your car if you crash into something. So I'm pretty much I'd have one of my hands on the controller. My other hand's like pressed down the H key really tightly. Don't let go of the H key, folks. Whatever you do, don't unpress the H key. Keep it pressed and held down. It'd be cool to be like a turbo controller. Those turbo controllers where you just press. Well, actually, no, turbo controller probably wouldn't do something like that, but I know there are some controllers that are like that where you can like program them. It's like you're constantly pressing and holding down a button even though you're actually not. That would be very useful in times. Oh, look at that. Look at that. A clone of Gru just suddenly appeared in the light of where we got sent to, where Professor Frink was sent up. I don't know if he's dead or not, or he's been destroyed. I don't know. Well, that's how we're going to keep killing the aliens, just by doing several trips where we send nuclear waste to them. And for some reason, we have to go into the school before we do anything more. Why go into school? I don't know. It's clearly nighttime. There's probably ghouls hanging out in there, maybe. because the town's clearly been invaded. Maybe there's ghouls, or the kinds of people that are not scared of the Wolfman. Those kinds of people, the only thing that scares people that would be up at this time of the day would not be the Wolfman, but the only thing that would scare them would be getting sober and looking for work. Those are the only people I'll be up right about now. Look, there's a Lisa Simpson minion just speaking about stuff. Yeah, because we always go to her. She's always the most logical, rational-minded character in the entire show. She's more rationally minded than any other character there is. She should be running Springfield, and Springfield wouldn't be as dysfunctional as it is. But of course, we can never let the logically minded people run the town, right? The logically minded people never get to run towns. We never get to do anything of importance, really. We always let the illogical, the irrational people do that. So we're just going to tell us we should go off to the power plant. For some reason we had to go see Lisa first and go flying off to the power plant. Seems like we're flying off. And oh look, it's that black car again. Yeah, this time we have to get away from it, not chase it or follow it. So I could go around this really fast. I'm feeling we're in one of the fastest cars in the game and it's available to us right now. There we go. Task complete. Drive to the nuclear power plant. Just speeding down here. It's really great how they made this. You can see there's one of the cards right there in the collectible cards. They drastically changed the cemetery. They may have drastically changed other things in the town too. But supposedly the people making this game ran out of time, so that's why they had to horribly truncate this level, make it seem a lot shorter. This actually is one of the fastest levels in the game. I remember back in 2020 when I played for the GameCube version of this and I took note of every single level I went through. I'm pretty sure this one I did in the fastest amount of time. It only took me like 11 minutes or so to get through level 7 of this game. Yeah, the last level of the game is also one of the easiest levels of the game too. One of the easiest missions are oddly enough in this level. Did they intend this to really come first or be one of the earlier levels in the game? And the other levels are supposed to come afterwards? Kind of like in Sonic the Hedgehog when the Labyrinth Zone was originally going to be the second zone in the game and they changed it. I really love the music in this part of the level too. It sounds like Homer Simpson dancing through a forest of sugar plums or something like that. I can imagine my Jason and Mason series that have music like this in it. It's like Rayman, where it plays nice, peaceful sounding music while you're doing an intimidating challenge, which is jumping through all that, jumping and navigating up to Mr. Burns' mansion. Mr. Burns has these trap doors everywhere, and he has one of those WASP cameras guarding him. He has to get a WASP camera. Did he bribe that WASP camera? Can WASP cameras be bribed? I know the police in Springfield can easily be bribed. We know they're always on the take, but what do you expect for the money they make? There we go, collected the Smarch calendar. Smarch, the greatest month of the year. Smarch. And then we're gonna go see Mr. Burns, and we're gonna somehow get something from him. I don't know what we're kind of dealing with, but we're kind of telling him, oh, Mr. Burns can finally be a hero for once, which is ironic, because he was a villain in the previous game, and he'll probably be a villain in all the remaining games too. For some reason, he actually gets to be a hero this time around and actually give away nuclear waste. They were begging him for nuclear waste. We wanted him to use it for the greater good. He's probably not going to consent to this. Or will he? I don't know, knowing that we're going to be dead soon because of these aliens, or we're going to be mindless drones or whatever the ultimate goal of these aliens is going to be. He's probably going to have to consent. He has no choice but to consent, really. He's going to let us have a map so we can find all the nuclear waste sites in Springfield that he buried himself, and we could use it to destroy the aliens, take it to them. I mean, it's not like Galaxian. Remember back in Galaxian when the aliens took over us? We just flew one of those weird ships that looks like a satellite and just shot them down one at a time. We also did that in a lot of other games, like Space Invaders and other alien invasion games. That seemed to be a very common theme in a lot of video games in the 70s and early 80s. It was always about the alien invasions. There was those aliens and Galaxians and whatnot. They always try to take over our world, and then we have to go and fight back at them by destroying them. At least that's what I like to think they were about. No, games back then didn't even really have stories either. Just gonna be driving through here and car smoking right now. Yeah, I can still see through all this smoke. I know Gru's probably gonna make a joke saying, I can't see through all the smoke. Well, look, we go to the gas station and get my car repaired. And if you can see now the nuclear waste thing is connected to the back of our car. If we crash, we're gonna lose that. At least if it's a hard crash. I think a small crash is not that bad, but a hard crash would be bad. I remember thinking that, I remember when I was a kid, I used to think this level's one of the hardest things ever. I remember I used to play this game with my cousin all the time. We both agreed that level 7 was really hard. Now it just seems real painfully easy to me now, but back then it seemed overly hard. It took years where I finally got this game 100% complete and and found absolutely everything in the game, found all the gags that are hidden throughout the game, and completed all the bonus missions, and found all the cards, and got all the WASP cameras too. Those all contribute to your progress in this game. And we only have one choice but to sacrifice our awesome car to the aliens. Yeah, just give it to the aliens. It's flying up like it's gonna see its last of it. There we go, it's destroyed. What if picking up this wrench is gonna somehow repair it? We'll never know because we don't get to use that car again for the rest of the game. Ironically enough, we were just driving Snake's car, and now we're going back to Snake to get another car. And what is this other car we're gonna get? Well, you could probably guess what it's gonna be. It's gonna be another version of Gru's car. Yeah, it's gonna be Gru's car, of course. Oh yeah, one of these. We're all gonna be in this big, large car together with Snake. I'm imagining Snake is in there too. And somehow we're all like crew members of a large vessel that are working towards going to find the nuclear waste of the Springfield power plant and taking it to the aliens. And of course, what would it be? This is pretty much just lava, rinse, repeat. It's like the same thing again, but this time we're forced to drive someone else's car. Good thing they have the H key and debug mode in this mod. Otherwise, this would be impossible. And this actually does drive pretty fast. Gru's car does, but it's so fast, it's almost ballistic, where you could, if you're not careful, easily fall right out of the game. Kind of like when I was playing Jumping Flash in hyper mode, and you can like press and hold the R1 button, you go at ballistic speeds, where you pretty much bounce off the walls and destroy, and then fall right out of the game, like phase through existence pretty much. That's what would happen in this level. That's kind of what's happening right here too. You have to like hit a very precise target while pressing and holding the H key too. It's hard to have a controller in your hand while you have the keyboard in your other, well, it's not an actual keyboard, it's on a laptop, but still it's really difficult to have a controller in one hand and play this game while you use the other hand to press the H key to use that debug tactic. Yeah, well, I wonder if people who did this ever got a Medal of Honor. Well, then again, I'm not the first one to have done this, obviously. There was a video of this I saw a long time ago showing someone doing this, so I knew it was possible to do this. Maybe speeding through here. Well, look at that. See, we're almost like falling through the floor. I had to reset there for a sec. This is very buggy, too. I guess it's called debug mode for a reason. Just falling around, falling through objects, crashing through stuff. I wonder if you, Lily, ever played this game before. And if so, does you know about all the cool glitches in this game, all the cool stuff you could find in this game? Somebody does play games a lot of the time to a point where he looks for hidden bugs in them and hidden stuff in them. He's played hundreds of games and he's done that with them. There we go, we're sacrificing Gru's car, but I don't really care. It's Gru's car. I never really cared about it that much. Why do you think I seldom used it in this playthrough? Because I hate it. Oh boy, this is the final mission of the game. I remember normally in the game you'd be getting a ride from Grandpa and he'd be driving his World War II Army Jeep and it's been modified to have a rocket jet booster. But of course, this is the Gru mod, so we're not going to be seeing that. This time we're just going to simply be driving in Gru's car again, so it's going to be the exact same thing we just already did. At this point, you've done it so many times, you could almost do this in your sleep. You also have this encoded in muscle memory. Oh, there's a little bit of a race here, but that's not really much of an issue. Because Gru's car is insanely fast. I do have to let go of the H key here, otherwise I just fall through the game over there. But then that way I could hit the wall of houses, yeah, the wall of houses there, and just phase through everything. Even drive through everything, drive around there, turn up the bend and go up around all there, and speeding as well too, driving at fast and ballistic speeds where you can see, getting a good view of the Springfield that's been invaded. They didn't change much of the signs. It would be cool if they changed to like, don't eat beef, eat zombie brains instead. Yeah. I think that's from that episode where Lisa became a vegetarian. I remember that classic episode, Lisa the vegetarian. This could happen too. See, I just got stuck in there, and the nuclear waste exploded for it because sounds like you crash into walls when you have the nuclear waste. You have to like be very precise about this and hit it precisely on track. There we go, we got it. Now I have to zip back to the school's plant. I zipped over to the power plant, now I'm gonna zip back. Remember when I finally completed this when I was a kid a long time ago, being how thrilled I was? And I actually beat the game for my cousin, did. My cousin used to play this game a lot too. And I beat the game she did, and she's like, whoa, you beat Simpsons Hit and Run before me? Yeah, I'm not the one that didn't play it as much, and yet somehow I got good at it really fast, and I beat the game eventually. And there's no way I could skip this mission, so that couldn't have been an excuse or anything like that. It actually was a pretty big achievement at the time, which now just kind of seems like nothing. Beating a game as a kid always seems like a big achievement, but then when you grow up and play the games again, you find that, yeah, these games are a lot easier than I thought they were. They're not. Completing this game isn't as big of an achievement as I always imagined it would be or something like that. Whoa, there we go, look at that, I fell into. I remember one time I did this and it actually said task complete. And then I crashed into a tree, and then it said made me go all the way back to the power plant again. Yeah, imagine doing all that and then crashing into the tree at the end and losing your nuclear waste. Well, here's the ending of the game now. We're gonna be sucked up. Grandpa's gonna go and destroy the aliens in there. With all the nuclear waste is gonna make the alien. I imagine that's their mothership, I guess. Like their greatest, like their main lead control ship. But then why would it be hovering over the Springfield school playground? It seems like an odd location to choose to be like a battleground or something like that. I mean, for their like, you know, like where they want their main base of operations. But again, a school is a logical place to set stuff up, considering the fact that schools are exempt from a lot of things and they're not allowed to get bombed in war. But I highly doubt aliens know anything about that. There we go, Foolish Earthlings finale is number 1. Yeah, it's number 1 because the aliens died at the end, so the show had to be cancelled. Now Homer's as Gru somehow turned back into Homer Simpson. He's just drinking a beer. Well, everyone's praising him for what he just did. Drinking a duff while watching TV with the kids and everything. Apparently he has a lot of fans that the final battle aired on TV. You know, those aliens that look like those tube things that used to go inside TVs are all going to be praising Homer Simpson, saying, Homer, Homer. They should be saying, Gru, Gru. We want Despicable Me 5 to come out really soon. We want Despicable Me 5 to be the best thing that happened to the franchise since Despicable Me 1. And now the aliens are dead and they're in heaven now, so they can't cause any more problems on Earth. They are dead, and the title's gonna show up, Shep, reminding everyone what game you just completed. What game we're at, did we just finish? Well, there it is, Simpsons Hit and Run.
Next puzzle.
That awesome music it played while we were trying to climb up the top of the Burns mansion, the Burns Tower, it's gonna be playing again while it's showing the ending credits to the game. I think it's a perfect piece of music to use for end credits. My cousin hated it, but I loved it. I love this music. It genuinely is really good. I can imagine like the London Philharmonic Orchestra or whatever it is playing this song, covering this piece of music, this awesome sound that they have. This awesome piece of music. It also reminds me a little bit of the ending credits music to the original Mega Man. It played a song, it sounded somewhat like this. Well, not much like this, but it sounded pretty close to this thing, or somewhat close to this. It makes you think of like some sort of triumph over some villain. There's some sort of villain or evil force, and we went against him and killed him. This song also, oddly enough, makes me think of Ed, Edd and Eddy for some reason. I like to think that the short Ed, the Eddie was what he's called, the pre-haired Ed. I like to think he had some kind of connection to Homer Simpson. They're both short, they're both mostly bald, except for 3 hairs on their head. They both say, why you little? And they're both kind of cheapskates in a lot of ways, so yeah, I guess there was a connection. It's kind of funny too, because when I was going to buy this game for my cousin a long time ago, it was either going to be this or Ed, Edd and Eddy, The Misadventures. I didn't think she knew who Ed, Edd and Eddy were, so I bought this instead. Looks like I made a good decision, right? This is a lot better than that Ed, Edd and Eddy game. A lot of people don't seem to know about Ed, Edd and Eddy. I remember joking about Ed, Edd and Eddy a lot, and no one seemed to really know who they were. I guess they kind of faded into obscurity. These are people my age too, or my age group, and don't know about them. Yeah, some things just fade away into obscurity. This game would probably fade away into obscurity too if it didn't have such a big fan base. And this concludes The Simpsons Hit and Run, the Gru Mod, one of the greatest mods, one of the greatest games ever made. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.